Yeah. Might be my arrogance, but ain't nobody stopping me. That's how I go when you pay for them shows and you study that pimp biology. Love for the field.
It is Tuesday, July 30th, 2019, and we're here. I wasn't going to be here. I ain't feeling all that good, but I decided, you know what? Sometimes we have to play through adversity. Sometimes we have to play through pain. And fuck it, I'm here. We're going to talk about some wrestling. We're going to have a good time because there's quite a few things going on right now. Quite a few big things, I think. Potentially big things. Let's not get too crazy. Wait. Let me back up. All right, because there's a couple things I'm excited about. One being Raw from last night. We're going to talk about it because I really enjoyed it. I was engaged. Now, look, full disclosure, I fell asleep, but it wasn't because of Raw. It was not my fault. I just fell asleep. It happens. And also, can we give some love to the new frame? Look at this shit. Fake-ass twat doing his thing. Thumbnail, frame, twat. Look at this, how organized. We got the chat. We got all kinds of stuff. Look how amazing this is. Just wanted to give him a little suck real quick. A couple double-fisted suck, you know? This one's demonetized. Shit. I'm trying to keep the cursing and, more importantly, the sexual references down to a minimum with these new YouTube rules. I'm trying to be a good boy. DEADONDAVE is trying to be on his best behavior. Anyway, so with everything that's going on, I was like, all right, I want to do the show. I want to talk about it because I want to talk about the Punk thing because I think there's some games going on. I believe we're being gamed by CM Punk. And if we're not, and probably not, because Punk does tend to be a straight shooter for the most part. He sees things the way he sees it, but whatever he sees, he tells the truth of how he sees it. You know what I mean? He's that type of guy. But Cody, on the other hand, Captain Fuckboy, God damn, I can't watch that. Cody over there, I think he's all about gaming, just because they have to. You know, I respect the hustle of AEW. I do. So we're going to talk about that and a whole lot more, but I want to start with Raw, but, you know, kind of just the things that I enjoyed about Raw. We're not going to get segment to segment. I mean, the matches that you saw were amazing. I want to talk about the overall feel of Monday Night Raw. I want to talk about the tempo, the pace, all of that pretentious bullshit that I think that we forget about a lot. There is no question in my mind. Paul Heyman was 100% in control last night's Raw. And it was good. And it was damn good. He did a damn good job last night. It just felt raw. It felt more gritty. It felt like there was pacing and everything. There was purpose. There was nothing that just left lying. I'm going to talk about a couple examples of that. But, of course, I want to get a little bit of love to all the wonderful people in the chat. How you guys doing? Cat Noble Dave put another $1 in the dang cursing jar. I'll definitely try. What up, Terry? A salty Cameron. Fake ass twat. Mark Pear, Sean Gallagher. Good to have all you guys in here. Hopefully you're having a fantastic time. Good to see you guys. All right. So when we were talking about with the whole pacing and how everything was, it felt out of control and chaotic, but nothing that was wasted, nothing that was pointless, and I really liked that. Chaos is the name of the game. Raw got stagnant and boring for a long time here because of the fact that it was formulaic. We know we're going to get every single week, and they got very good at what they did, to be fair. Let's be fair. WWE has gotten very good at what they do. They put together fantastic packages. They know how to market it right. They put the right polish, and it's acceptable. It's passable forms of entertainment. Whether or not it's passable forms of wrestling is a deeper discussion. But passable forms of entertainment, as far as execution goes, you can't really argue against it. The problem is it's fucking boring because it's become that way. We forgot about the times in wrestling when it's most exciting, when shit just happens, just goes crazy all the time, explosions and stuff, even metaphorical ones. You should never feel comfortable watching a wrestling program. You should want to be pushed towards the edge of your seat. You shouldn't have that choice. It should just be there, pushing you, edging you closer, because who's going to happen? And what did we get last night? How did it start? Kind of with a groan from me, if I'm being honest, because of the 24/7 championship stuff. But I like the fact that it was in ring. I like that Paul Heyman, or who's ever deciding to kind of change up the 24/7 title a little bit, and it's clearly being changed up, by the way. to have an in-ring event. It's smart. Go ahead and take off the restrictions for a moment, and then let them wrestle. Even if it's a match like that, a weird one where we get Drake Maverick's wife, who has no wrestling training as far as I know. I don't know if she has any at all, but she's gorgeous and she's magnetic. You can't help looking at her. Your eyes just go blah, just lock right on her. She can't. I don't know if she could do anything at all. Don't really care. You put magnetic people on television, and WWE realized that with her and put her on. Very, very smart. And it's worked. So they had this nice little match thing. It was cool. And then chaos afterwards with Mike Bennett getting the title. Probably the most unlikely thing to happen. But when you look at the last few weeks and how they've gone ahead and been working this, the Bennetts, the Kanellis, the whole cucking angle, whatever we're calling it, however we want to describe what Maria Kanellis is doing to Mike Kanellis, it is fantastic, even in its cringiness. I don't like emasculation. I'm not a fan of it. I don't get off on it. I don't think it's cool. It's like, shut your bitch ass up, smack you in the face, that type of stuff. It's like, come on, I want to be emasculated. Don't step on my nutsack with your high heel shoes. I don't appreciate this. But I love Maria. I have this thing. I love her. I love everything that she's done on the indies. People forget when she was in Ring of Honor, man, she was the most talked about heel. Almost in wrestling. People were talking about her because she is so evil, almost cartoonishly evil, but she looks so good that it kind of works. Hey, Terry.
Hey, Dave, #much love, #peace, #respect. Get those likes up, #mush puffs. Heart.
All them hashtags, all those likes. Terry, I'm going to give you some bunny ears for that wonderful donation. $10 from Terry. So sweet. Thank you so much. Scared me too. Let's get our bunny on. There we go, like that. That's good. So I've just become enamored with Maria and everything that she does. So I was willing to give this a little bit of a chance to see where it goes. And now that I'm seeing that it has a point, that it's all kind of moving in this very, very flowing direction, I'm all for it. Think about the brilliance of it. I want to talk about it because we're going to go into this whole pregnant champion thing. This is brilliant. The 24/7 championship has been absolute chaos, and it's worked, but it also hasn't worked. I mean, as much as it's worked for Drake Maverick and R-Truth, the rest of the guys involved, No Way Jose's, the disgruntled EC3s, they just run around. They're not doing anything. They're just running around like an asshole. That's all they're doing. So they had to come up with a way to change stuff up, even if it's temporary, just to get some new eyeballs into the situation and maybe just change the pace. And putting the title and working, look, they were not going to let Maria just go home again with the pregnancy. And I don't think that she's like that. I don't think they planned this. I don't think they planned to screw WWE over by signing a contract and then getting pregnant. I don't think that was ever the case. Obviously, I don't think WWE thinks that either. They wouldn't have signed him. Maria has a lot of value. I don't know about Mike, but Maria has a lot of value. She's incredibly creative, and she's got the fact that she's willing to work her real life pregnancy, which she's having issues with, by the way. She had a pregnancy scare last week from being dehydrated and all kinds of stuff. The woman's still working with it and working this angle. How brilliant of a thing to continue the emasculation thing by taking the title off of Mike Bennett, and they're also playing up a potential who the baby daddy scenario, which I don't really care for, but it just means there's multi-layers to this storyline, and it's starting from a very early time in the story. That's well thought out ideas. Whether or not they're good ideas, I don't care. That's irrelevant. They're well thought out. They have this layered, and I like that. I'm kind of digging it. So for her to then, and this is my favorite part, to be antagonistic. Who's going to go and deck a pregnant lady? They're going to have to get creative. I think we will have a title change. I don't think she's going to hold this title the entire pregnancy. What if Mike pins her in her sleep? You know what I mean? What if there are all kinds of ways they can do this? R-Truth can sneak into their house. I mean, I don't know if they want to go this route. Black men sneaking into two pasty white people's house may not be the smartest angle. the WWE'd want to go with this, especially because there might be some binding down involved as well. You know what? I'm going to go and back away from this. I think we've gone to a dark place. We're not going to go there. It's not good. No bueno. No bueno indeed. But what I'm saying is they're going to have to get creative, and they can go edgy, they can go sensible, they can go wholesome. There's a lot of things that they can do, and it's pretty cool. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how they go with it. As long as Maria keeps being antagonistic, I love it. I love that she's getting in people's faces and being like, what are you going to do? You going to hit a pregnant lady? You going to hit a pregnant broad? Is that what you're going to do? Come on, you piece of shit. I kind of like it. I like it. So when you have the good stories that are happening, and I think that you can look at a lot of things, including some of the minor storylines, the Alexa Bliss stuff seems to be pretty well written out and well thought out as well at the moment. There's a lot happening, so there's that entertainment factor. And then WWE backed it up with some pretty goddamn good wrestling last night, man. I couldn't even begin to describe how impressed I was with the in-ring storytelling, especially at the hands of Andrade. Andrade was fantastic in winning his match, in losing his match, because it was multi-fold. It was fantastic. It really was. The ripping off of Rey Mysterio's mask was brilliant. I love the way that they're playing it up. I like that we're going to get a big definitive feud between these two. I think it's long overdue. Very smart. And the wrestling, again, was very good. We got a pay-per-view quality match in that tag team match. That tag team championship match, which was weird considering what happened with the Usos and everything. But still, I liked Raw. I liked the tag team match. I thought it was fantastic. Probably was going to be one of the bigger matches at SummerSlam. But hey, whatever. They come up with something else. Even if it's just a revival in the club, we got brand new tag team champions in the club. The club hold all the gold, baby. I'm loving it. It's just there's a lot of things going in the correct directions. Now, I'm not going to suck off Raw completely. I did fall asleep still, but it wasn't because of Raw. Like I said, I was just exhausted, and I was a little inebriated as well, and I went into dreamy land. But everything that I saw, everything that I went back and watched, I found nothing wrong with it. I love the chaos of it. I love the beatdown by Brock Lesnar. It was just good. It was just good. It was a very vicious beatdown. And we've seen so many beatdowns with Brock. We've seen a lot of these. This might have been the best one. This was violent. When he went back after him, that shot, by the way, of Brock in front of the ambulance, it looked video game-esque. It was a brilliant shot. Brilliant shot. I absolutely loved it. I just thought last night's Raw was very tight. We've been noticing the last few weeks, organized, tight, concise. There's just a lot going in there, and I'm digging it. I'm digging a lot of things that are happening. It's not perfect. It's still a work in progress. It still needs to continue to improve. And the matches, and I think it's a big thing we saw last night. No more 2 out of 3 falls. It's dead. 2 out of 3 falls are officially dead and over with. Thank Christ for that. It looks like they have finally come to their senses on it, and we're done with that bullshit. We're not going to get those stupid things anymore. And that's a very good thing. Wrestling can happen during commercials. It's always been that way. Why would you try to change it now? And especially in a very ham-fisted manner. I don't know, but I'm glad they came to their senses, and I'm hoping that was another thing that Paul Heyman advocated for. However, apparently not everything is hunky-dory in new executive land for WWE. I just saw this on the dirt sheets. Don't know exactly what's true about it or not. But apparently, and this was reported by Meltzer earlier in the day, so take it for what it's worth, apparently Vince has rewritten the entire SmackDown tonight. He got the script, apparently fucking hated it, rewrote the entire show start to finish. That's not a good sign because this is like, now Eric's supposedly getting in the groove now. You know, this is the second week in. You'd think he was going to have more creative control. Who knows? That's not a good sign. 2 weeks in and Vince is already taking entire scripts. Don't like that. Nah, no bueno. Not a big fan. But still, regardless, it is what it is. We'll see how SmackDown is because SmackDown was awesome last week. That's why I was so shocked to hear about this. Raw this week felt how SmackDown felt last week. You know, and now the Sim says I thought he rewrote last week's. I didn't see that. All I knew... I didn't see that. So if that happened last week, then okay, it's 2 weeks and he rewrote it. You know what? He did the right thing then, because whoever wrote it last week definitely should have wrote it again this week, because SmackDown's was tight and right last week. And that's what felt about Raw this week. So this week's Raw felt like last week's SmackDown. Very tight and right and well coordinated. And that's what I like to see. So it's good things. Anthony Ryan, I would like to see Braun Strowman win 24/7 championship. I would too. I don't know if he's going to tempt the Maria fate, but we'll see how that goes. It's going to be, I want to see Maria to continue to push this. I want to see them get creative in how they're going to take the belt off of her. But hey, they're doing something with the Canellises. I'm just happy. A lot of people that we have seen been falling by the wayside as of late. They're starting to get the ball rolling with them again. Whether it's Andrade, Cedric Alexander, they're not being forgotten about, and that's a really positive thing. So hopefully that will carry into SmackDown as well, and hope whatever is happening with the rewrites or whatever will continue to get fixed, and smooth sailings with both these new executives in place. We'll see how it goes. Let's talk about the AEW thing. Okay. This whole situation with CM Punk and AEW is very contrived. It wasn't a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, CM Punk went on a radio show and he was talking about how he's got an offer. He's never had a real offer. He doesn't talk to these guys as much as they let on. He lets people know that AEW is kind of working them and all this type of stuff. And he's applauding it. He's like, it makes sense. Use my name, get the clout, make the waves. That's smart. That's exactly what we should be seeing. And I'm happy. I'm happy that they would go that route. You know, I completely lost my fucking train of thought. Completely. Holy God. Completely just gone. Whatever thought was in my head, just gone. Let's say hi to the chat real quick. Tacola Fox, hey Dave, long time cute bunny ears. Thank you. There's a lot going on at the moment with the Taz. We're going to talk about the Taz thing in a minute, Zanta. Don't worry, we're going to get there. Fake, was Maria trying to get fucked by Braun last night? What the hell was that segment? Little Braun, baby. Hell yeah. All right. So, yeah, like we were saying, Punk was, thank you very much, Isaiah. I appreciate that. So, Punk is saying that they're, worked them, they're working the internet marks and stuff, and they should be. That's what they should be doing. It's a smart thing, blah, 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 blah. Well, Cody goes, I think you've been misquoted. He took this to Twitter, and he actually took a little bit of umbrage to what Punk said, going as far as saying, and this is where everybody in the room, thank God that people's big boy brains turned down when he said this, because nobody was buying it. Well, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if he re-signed with WWE at this point. Of all the things that you're going to try and pull, all the things that you can try and get people off the trail, that was the most outlandish and stupid thing that you possibly could say. And now Punk has said that once again he's been made a more formal offer now. Hasn't said exactly what it was. We know that he's going to be at the StarCast thing, so everybody's like, he's definitely going to be showing up at the next big pay-per-view for AEW, the All Out pay-per-view, and he probably will at this point. I'm starting to believe it myself, because there's two ways you can look at it. One, Punk is telling the truth. He's never stopped telling the truth. He will never stop telling the truth. CM Punk is not going to AEW. Don't believe it. It's bullshit. And you know what? That's what I'm hoping for. One, because I kind of want everybody to get shit on in their mouth. And honestly, I think it's the best way. We don't need another bitter guy into the situation. We don't need more bitter fuel to the bitter fire. And I'll tell you what, WWE better be fucking praying that CM Punk does not decide to do this, because this is the one way AEW becomes instant competition. So either CM Punk has been telling the truth the entire time and there's no way doing it, or this is not, I'm sorry, this is not just a new conspiracy. This is a long thought out fucking plan. It's a long thought out plan. They've been doing this for a long time. If CM Punk ends up showing up, he was always intending to, because this didn't make sense to me. Even the cons being involved with the money and their love for professional wrestling and everything, it didn't make sense to me how they were able to instantly drum up so much interest in the TV deal stuff. It didn't make sense to me why they'd want to go to a TV deal so quickly. You know, why not wait a year? Why not have proof of concept, right? Why not take this on the road, sell out 10, 15,000 seat stadiums? Why not get your brand out there in front of everybody? Why rush a product? It never makes sense to rush a product. It always makes sense to take a little bit more time. But they rushed. Why would they rush? Because they always had Punk in their back pocket. Because they always knew he was going to sign, and they planned this out. And if they did, it's one of the smartest fucking things ever. It's brilliant. If they plan this out, and it's really not all that crazy to think they planned this out. Think about it. It's in waves. They've rolled out shit in waves. They weren't expecting to get the gift of Moxley. They weren't when all this was first planned. Maybe some stuff was leaking back then about Ambrose being unhappy. The writing was on the wall anyway. Not a big thing, but they probably weren't planning on that. Jericho was in on the fucking heist. You know what I mean? He's been planning the whole thing from the fucking jump. He's been right there. So that makes perfect sense to me. But to have this plan in place with Punk to always be on the pay-per-view before the television debut, which is paramount. That's the biggest factor here. This isn't just the biggest pay-per-view for AEW. This is the AEW big pay-per-view before the television launch. This is everything. Every move that they have, they're going to use it here. Every big favor that they can call in, they're going to use it here. If they don't, they're stupid. They have to get all of the interest that they possibly can. They have to. It has to work because the numbers have not looked that good. If you look at the numbers for what they were, and you can go ahead and you can tout that the Bleacher Report set record numbers. Yeah, 140,000 live viewers for a free pay-per-view. That's what they drew. Not much more than the 125,000 pay-per-view buys that they were able to get for All In. You know, for their big show. That's a scary thing to think that giving away something on all devices only generated 140,000. That's a scary thing when you're going to television. So you got to drum this shit up. And I understand Isaiah is saying stuff like Punk's not in wrestling shape. He doesn't need to be in wrestling shape today. He needs to be in wrestling shape in 3 months from now. That's when he needs to be in wrestling shape, in October. And maybe not even then. He doesn't even need to be in really good shape till a couple months down the line. The first thing that he needs to be doing, if they were smart, the first thing that he would do, the only thing that he would do at that all-out pay-per-view is show up and pop somebody. That's it. And then stand there. Best in the world! That's all you got to do. Internet is broken. You can have a dog shit rest of your pay-per-view, and you've kicked WWE right in the dick. You just have. You're going to get everybody talking. And then you go to TV the following week or some shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's it would be a hell of a move. So I don't think it's all that crazy to think that it's been one big conspiracy. Now, if you want where I'm putting my money, I don't think Punk goes. I think Punk is 40 years old. I think Punk is happy being Punk. I don't think that he fully agrees with some of the motives. Punk is spiteful and bitter just like everybody else, but he doesn't live for his spite. He just holds a quiet grudge and then spouts off. He's just an asshole. He's not trying to take anybody else down, it doesn't feel like. You know what I mean? AEW has a different vibe. It's all about somebody else. And I don't think that jives well with him. So I don't think he's going to want to put himself in that environment. So ultimately, I don't think he goes. I think he continues being happy, being Phil. And you know what? At 40, I think it's the type of smart thing to do. Don't risk. Look, you got through your wrestling career. There's no reason to come back now. There's none. And here's the one thing. If you do, everybody's going to know one thing. Because there's only one reason you come back right now. Ego. 100% ego and pride. So we're going to find out who Phil Brooks is. Because I don't think that you could go to AEW and not have this about ego, pride, revenge, something. This is going to get ugly. It's going to stain your soul. So we're going to find out, because CM Punk has always kind of tried to portray himself as this man of virtue. Well, we're going to find the fuck out how much he doesn't care. Because if he signs, we know why. There's a reason for it, so we'll see. We'll see. Isaiah does not even seem to want CM Punk wrestling, so that's interesting. So we'll see what happens there. I'm not 100% sure, but it's going to be very interesting nonetheless. All right. So there was an interesting other thing that happened I do want to talk about in Zanta. Big credit to Zanta, man. Zanta, Terry, and now Fake Ass Twat all in the Copious Wrestling News team. By the way, if you want to become part of the Wrestling News team, let me know. Hit me up in the DMs. And if I can tolerate you and you don't make me want to punch you in the face or the throat, I will add you to the news team, because we need more things. Here's what I need. We got great coverage of all the basic stuff. We got great coverage of things that you're going to find. What I need people to dive deep. I need people to go following all kinds of wrestlers and look for interesting things in tweets, stuff that we may not be seeing. Those are the things that I want. So if you want to be a part of that, let me know. It's no pay, but it is a lot of fun. You get to hang out with a lot of cool people that are in the wrestling community, and more people will be added to it. So you might make some good connections. And, of course, I will make sure to let everybody know who is getting all these wonderful stories from my fat, lazy ass, like Zanta Claws, like Terry, like Fake Ass Twat, and like, well, not Bear because he's never around. But let's give some love to them. Yes, Mark, we know that Emma signed with TNA, and the world couldn't care less. At least I couldn't care less, let me tell you that. Let's see here. This big thing with Taz. This one is interesting to me, because when I started reading the story, I actually was on one side. And then by the end of it, I had changed my mind. You see, when Zanta was telling me everything that happened with the... I'm trying to stall out here because I can't remember this guy's name. And I'm trying to... there we go. Dominic. We're just going to call him Dominic. I'm not going to mess with his Dijakovic shit, because that's a hell of a last name. So, Dominic returns, and he's using the Taz mission. And Taz took umbrage. Taz took umbrage to this publicly, and he stated that he wasn't... Well, I guess somebody asked him. I believe he was asked, to be fair. And, you know, he said he wasn't asked at all. And then when he was pressed a little bit, he was like, well, I was asked publicly. And because he was pushed on it, because Dominic did, in fact, ask publicly for use of the move. So I want to talk about this whole thing for a second, all right? Because I have respect for the industry. I got respect for wrestlers, incredibly so, trainers especially. Respect is very important. We're in a day and age of the internet, where we can talk to everybody. We don't have to look everybody in the eye, and I don't even think that it has to 100% be a private matter when you're asking for things as trivial as moves that you did not invent, by the way. I understand that Taz is the first guy to use this judo move, which is all it is, in a wrestling ring. And that's great. But you didn't invent the hold. The hold's not yours. You have nothing proprietary about it. It is what you're known for. But there have been other people who have used very similar versions of it. The Cobra Clutch, for fuck's sake. The $1 Million Dream. These are moves that are very, very similar. And when added to a grapevine, it looks awfully fucking similar. So we're going to get right the fuck off of this, okay? We're going to get right off of this real fucking quick, because it's a judo move. It's ridiculous. There's no reason to be getting in the dicks and the assholes of some of these young kids publicly, especially on Twitter, where you can do damage to them, especially when there was an ask of permission. There was. He did ask. He asked publicly, and then he deleted it after he kind of got, hey, kid, I want this privately. Go fuck yourself, Taz. Go fuck yourself. You're being a goddamn baby. That's the reality. I was all on his side at first, and then I thought about it a little bit. When I found out that the kid actually did ask publicly, okay, sure. If you want to be 100% respectful, you want to be 100% by the etiquette, abso-friggin-lutely. Absolutely, then you should ask 100% of the time. I don't have a problem with that. But you don't have to. You don't have to. And I'm getting real tired of all these fucking old-timing wrestlers that are coming so hard, using social media, using the tools that they are actually mad at. Because that's what they're mad at. They're pissed off at the fact that wrestlers nowadays can market and get themselves over in a way that they would have killed to have in their heyday. Can you imagine if Stone Cold Steve Austin back then had a Twitter account? If Hulk Hogan was able to address his Hulkamaniacs and have a nightly prayer session as they were taking their fucking vitamins while doing push-ups? Jesus Christ. Can you imagine? 24-hour inundation. That's what we're talking about. And that's what Taz is so upset about. And Taz's fan base is fucking crazy too. Sometimes I still get people, even though I used copious 2 years before Taz even fucking thought of the goddamn word, I had motherfuckers trying to tell me that I was ripping Taz off. This is the type of craziness that you have to deal with Taz. Why? And Isaiah is 100% correct. Taz is crazy. Taz is crazy. He is crazy. And it's a lot of these ECW guys, I'm noticing, are the most emotional and the most crazy about this shit. And I find it interesting. These are the rebel rousers. These are the guys that had no code. A lot of these guys fucked each other over in some of the worst ways in the history of wrestling. How fucking dare these guys be the one to try to lecture the new group? Messenger matters sometimes. That would be like my fucking fat ass really trying to preach to all you guys about eating right. You know what I mean? It's like the messenger matters. Sure, I'm saying the right things, but why the fuck are you going to listen to me? I have pie hanging out of my mouth, you know? Messenger matters, Taz. It's like there's so many ways that you can get around this. There are so many better ways. Why not just reach out to the kid? If you care so much about this etiquette bullshit that you tried to play on online, why not just reach out to him and teach him a private lesson? Because it wasn't about pride. It was about your fucking own. All it was. Had nothing to do with anything else. 100% about your ego, and that's why you took it publicly. Teach the kid a lesson privately. Offer him to take a drink. Do it old school style. But you did it like a millennial. You did it like a millennial. You used Twitter to pressure this kid. You cyberbullied him to fucking doing what you wanted. Because he didn't ask for it in the way that you wanted him to. Get the fuck out of here. Unbelievable. Ah, God, that baby shit bothers me. It really does, man. Oh, my God. You didn't ask the way I want you to. This is how Dominic should have asked. He should have sent a video of him asking and being 100. Man, I am definitely getting demonetized, son of a bitch. Of him asking, 100% respectful, being completely good and everything, but keeping the middle finger up the entire time when he was talking. Been the only way. Good Lord. Taz is something else sometimes. He really is. And you know what the best part is? I actually like Taz. Not really as a wrestler. I thought he was very overrated personally. I did. I never saw the interest in the great Taz. But I do like him as a talking head, man. He says some real-ass wild shit. You know what I mean? Mark Perry says, what the fuck, WWE canceled New Day versus the OC? Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, apparently the entire show tonight has been rewritten. So that's basically how I feel about that. What do you guys think about it in the chat? I'm also going to be taking calls. Discord is open. I am in my zone of copiousness. It's because the Taz was funny commentating. Yeah, but crazy people are funny. You know? Crazy people are funny. What can you say? I'm trying to see what else happened in Raw last night. I'm kind of going to bounce around a little bit because I know there was more that I wanted to talk about. But I wanted to make sure that I got the meat and potatoes in. I'm kind of surprised we zoomed through. We zoomed right through, man. I could knock these shows out in 45 minutes fucking easy, especially if we don't have any callers. I can get up out of here, do the robot a little bit, and get my ass on. I don't need to drone on for 2 hours. You guys don't want me to drone on for 2 hours. We get our opinions out, and we move the fuck on with our day. I like it. That's called efficiency. I'm a happy guy. Let's see. Isaiah, maybe the kid shouldn't have went on Twitter with it, but man, chastise him in private. What the fuck? Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I think he was trying to do the right thing by asking publicly, which I don't even think that there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's any, maybe there's not everything 100% right about it. Like, yes, you could have done one thing differently there and go public or go privately and not have to worry about it at all. But I don't think there's something chastisable in asking publicly. I think it's something endearing. You want the fans to know. You want the fans to know that I'm going to use this move and I have respect for this man enough to use this move. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that at all. Terry, demonetized Dave. Damn it, I donated for nothing. What are you talking about? You donated. I'm going to, no, I get that money. That's the only money I'm going to get, Terry. Your donation will be the only money I will get because I'll be demonetized. That me getting demonetized doesn't affect that. That donation still comes to me, baby. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's totally fine. But no, I do agree with you, Isaiah. I think we're on the right mindset there. Mark Parrish, JBL during the Ruthless Aggression was underrated. I agree. I couldn't agree more. Brock and Seth. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Brock and Seth. I'm okay with this. I didn't really watch the entire thing live, but yeah. I talked a little bit about it earlier. I love the beatdown. I thought it was the best beatdown that we've had from these two yet. I like that it didn't end. You know, I don't mind it when these beatdowns, continue on, as long as they still continue to escalate in violence. But this one certainly did. Especially went to the ambulance. This is not the feud that we all want. This is not the feud that WWE needs. But maybe it's the final time that we'll see these guys around each other for a while. And at least they're going to do it the correct way. At least they're going to go about it the right way, and they're going to give this the best chance. Now, what it means for the story with we're so close to SummerSlam and now Seth is going to be dealing with an injury, does that change things? Are they doing that for that reason? Are they going to take Seth out of the equation because now they're playing this type of game where, we don't know the extent of his injuries? So I'm not 100% sure. Are they going to have Seth come back even more brutal? I don't know. Fake says, this beatdown was the most interesting thing Brock has done in a while. Is it the way to write Seth off? I'm not sure. That's the big question. But either way, if that's what they did, then they'll bring in somebody else to have a one-off with Brock, and they could do that a whole bunch of different ways too. They could do a tournament earlier in the day. They can give someone from NXT. There's a lot of things they could do to make SummerSlam's main event with Brock Lesnar an interesting one. But I got a feeling, if I had to guess, Seth will still be the opponent, and I think they're just trying to give it a little bit more juice and give Seth once again that big underdog and show exactly where Brock will go to. It could also be setting up a stipulation. Maybe they're going to go to Hell in a Cell. Maybe they're going to go to something else. Who knows? We shall see. Benjamin, Seth's selling is better than his Twitter interview game. Yes, Jesus, take away his Twitter. Please, I agree. Terry, I want Roman and Samoa Joe to become a true Samoan Summit. What does that mean? You want them like Doc? You want them like stick foreskin together? What are you doing? That's gross. That's disgusting. No, but I know what you mean. I think I love that feud with what's going on with those two right now. The Usos, I'm very confused about. I was shocked to see the Usos. In the match, I understood. I didn't know why that they were so heavily used in the match. And then after, getting once again later on in the night, it was weird. You'd figure, coming off of another DUI, that maybe they wouldn't be featuring so heavily, but they did. I have no clue. Cedric in the main event was nice to see very much. I love seeing Cedric over there. Just because it's something different. This is why I enjoyed Raw last night. Think about how many different storylines we're talking about. This is what we've been missing. Different storylines coming together in a way to not just make another 6-man tag. Storylines overlapping, running into each other. Samoa Joe, his brawl, pushing into another brawl that was already happening. This is good. This is chaotic. This is good. It's smart. It's the way to make it happen. I'm just pretty happy about it. Carl G. Lesnar versus Riddle. Have Brock destroy that surfing bitch. He's got his hands full down there right now. Big Damo's messing him up. Let's see. Mark Harris. Brock versus Ziggler, please. Not because I want to see it, but because I want to see Ziggler get his ass kicked. Ziggler should already have a pretty good match coming up for himself at SummerSlam already. Maybe with an involvement of HB Shizzle. You never know. Geez, Dave, you're digging a bigger hole, son. Oh, yeah. That's right, you stupid jackass, Dave. What are you doing? You're coming in here, you're talking about docking and dick holes. You're never going to get a monetization died, you stupid jackass. You want those dimes? You want the stack of dime neck? You stupid son of a bitch. Go have yourself a Stone Cold Steve Austin IPA and have yourself a good day, you jackass. Oh, God. That hurt. Oh, my God, that hurts so much. It hurt my throatikins. It was not good. All right. What else do I have to talk about? What else is happening in the wrestling world that I give two flying fornications about? Is anybody in the Discord? Anybody want to talk to me? No, I don't want to talk to you either. You guys suck. All right, so some of the things that I'm just seeing on the dirt sheets that are happening. WWE did change the main event once again now. It is... The new match is a non-title match. Champion versus champion. AJ Styles versus Kofi Kingston. New tag team, Raw Tag Team Champions Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson will be ringside with AJ. So it's just going to turn into a six-man. I swear to God, if that match turns into a six-man tag anyway, I'm going to punch a baby right in its suck bucket. Good Lord. Let's see. Their big drop from last week. Of course, the Raw reunion show did huge numbers last week, and there was a pretty big drop-off, 25% drop-off. That's not bad, though. There's still 2.5 million people watching Raw. That's not that bad. That's still more. It's bigger than it was before the reunion, but you had to know that was going to happen. Come on. You had to know. That's not a big shocker there. So, all right, we're going to be answering questions, too. If you guys have any questions you want answered in the chat, go ahead and throw them out. We'll answer before we get out of here. Mark Parrish, I hope not. HBK deserves to be able to just enjoy retirement and coach NXT. I wouldn't expect Sean to be doing anything ring-wise or storyline-wise if he didn't want to be. He seems to be really enjoying what he's doing, and maybe he just wants a little bit more of a taste. That's okay. I ain't going to hate on him for that. If he wants a little bit more of a taste, he can have a little bit more of a taste, baby. Sean Slaughter, well, dang, Dave, you're going to be blowing YouTube soon. Why am I going to be blowing YouTube? I ain't blowing YouTube. Well, I'm blowing you guys. I don't make much. I've never made a lot of money off YouTube, even when I was something. And I use that very fucking loosely, by the way. I never made more than $200 off YouTube, ever. The most I ever made, I think $243 is the most I ever made off of a month in monetization off YouTube in my entire YouTube life. I made a hell of a lot more off Twitch, but this is a fan-funded show. You guys help me out, man. That's the way I look at it. If you enjoy what I do and you want to throw a little bit of change my way, right now I'm going through one of the most difficult things in my entire life. I can certainly fucking use it, and I appreciate you. But if not, sit back, laugh. I don't give a flying fuck, because I blow you at the end of the day, because this is fan-funded shit. I blow you. Go buy my merch, you fucking whores. There you go. See? Now, we're in alignment. Fake figures WWE would pull in a big rating and then shit the bed. I wouldn't call it shit in the bed, man. I think, oh, you're talking for that show. Yeah, reunion sucked. Agreed. Mark Parrish, Dave, if you heard Big Show and Kane are being discussed for next year's Hall of Fame, who do you think goes in first? You can put them both in at the same time. You can, I think if you look at both careers, and maybe people won't agree with this, I think Big Show has the better career. I think Big Show was more impressive. Kane had a great career. He really did. I think it just doesn't even compare. You know what? And this is a little bit unfair. Kane was good. He was never great athletically. You got to go back and you got to go watch young Big Show. Go watch when he was the Giant, man. When he was real young. 25, 26-year-old Big Show doing amazing things in the ring. Just the way he moved like a regular athlete at times. It was fantastic. And he allowed other people to do very good things with his body. He was just an impressive guy all around. So me personally, I got him going in. I would put him before Kane, but I got them no problem going in the same class. Doesn't bother me at all. Neither one of them are headlines. Neither one of them are headline. I'm sorry. You got to have a bigger name. Still need the bigger name, and I don't know who it would be next year. I don't see either one of them as headlines. Kane was never that good, honestly, at least in the ring. There's a reason why he's always been on Taker's bitch. Don't you talk about my brother like that, boy. Do you know what I did? Do you know what happened with our family's demise. I can't remember the story, boy, because it's too dark and convoluted. But I do know that people burned, boy, and the rest will rest in peace. I don't fucking know. I don't know. Anyway. All right, we're yammering at this point. I think we're going to get out of here. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this bitch up in a nice, pretty little bow. You do realize Kenny is actually a future two-time Hall of Famer with BOD? Probably. More than likely. I'm not saying Kane doesn't deserve it. He's just not. Kane's not in the top 10. Neither is the Big Show. They're not in the top 20. They're probably not in the top 30. Now, they both are in the top 10 big men. They're both. I think Big Show's top 3 big men with Andre and Taker. That's what I think. Taker, Andre, Big Show, 3 greatest big men of all time. That's my list. That's it. That's my list right there. But yeah, more than likely, Kane deserves everything he gets, and so will Big Paul Wright. There you go. I enjoyed it tonight, guys. I'm glad doing back to shows. I'm glad that I pushed through. Thank you guys for being patient with me. I'm sorry that pain is beating the crap out of me, but thank you guys. I really do appreciate it. And I am very glad that I came on today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. Make sure you share it around. Let everybody know that we're back doing the thing that we do better than anybody else in the wrestling community. And we're going to keep these shows coming tomorrow. Another one. Going to talk about SmackDown and whatever else happens with the rest of the night. Thank you very much. Keep it copious, folks. And remember, as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. Big shout, fake ass twat for the frame and graphics. Dueling Duels Drew for this wonderful outro. And everybody else, including that wonderful wrestling team, Terry Snow Queen, Zanta Claws, for all your help. See you tomorrow. Peace.